Hi, my name is Wes Reno. I'm one of the lead engineers here at Audiotree in Chicago, Illinois. Today we're talking about the Antelope Galaxy 64 audio interface. The Antelope Galaxy 64 audio interface is 64 channels of analog to digital conversion and digital to analog conversion on top of many more useful features. Here at Audiotree, we utilize a vintage SSL mixing console with 48 channels. And in order to successfully record bands and to be able to mix on the SSL, which is a spirit that we like to keep at Audiotree, we need plenty of I/O to support that. The Galaxy 64 allows us to use one unit and record and mix on the SSL and have enough outputs for monitoring. Sometimes bands bring in very large touring rigs, including playback, multiple instrumentalists with instruments that required multiple mics, and it's pretty quick to get up to 48 channels in a mix. Especially when you have to consider that we are recording hosts and interview segments and require mics for those artists to be able to speak. It's quite common that we are surpassing 40 inputs here at Audiotree. With the shift in touring facilities allowing artists to get closer sounds to the records when they perform concerts, we're finding that they're also bringing that to our studio. And it's just a new era of live music where people are breaking the traditional rules of what used to be done and doing something totally brand new. When we have a band with a large touring party and a large setup and a large input list, we receive that information in advance, and before the session even happens, we come up with a game plan as to how we are going to capture it. And for example, in these large sessions, sometimes they include in-ear monitor systems with multiple tracks of playback. And when you're working on a mixing console like this, where you tend to keep things where they always are, you have to get creative in how you record them and how you digitally capture those sources. We have 4 hours to record a band, and so we have a system in place that allows us to do that. But as time goes on and these touring rigs are moving into the future, talking about wheeling in full audio racks, boats, equipment that I've never seen in the studio before, we need to be able to adapt our current system and this analog mixing board to fit all of the modern requirements. Having the Galaxy 64 be a reliable source for us to do internal routing and have it work when we need it to take these modern touring setups and spread it out across an analog console is great. During the week of Lollapalooza in 2025, Audiotree had a band called Midnight Generation from Mexico City come in and play a session. And I had never seen more synthesizers used in a performance in my life. We're talking 6 or 7 stereo synthesizers eating up 12 to 14 channels of the board, and also going through their monitoring system. Another example would be a lot of modern metal bands are running 2 kick drums, 4 to 5 tom-tom drums. Drums alone can take up 18 inputs sometimes with these bands, and it's great to have the flexibility that the internal routing of the Galaxy 64 offers to make that work. Also, oftentimes, bands will come in with their own in-ear monitor rigs, whether that be with Midas consoles and Behringer consoles. Thankfully, the Galaxy 64 allows us to interface with their already existing established touring setups through Dante. And the ability to use Dante and the Galaxy 64's internal routing saves us a lot of time, a lot of analog connections, and saves us from troubleshooting. I have always loved Antelope's converters. I've done shootouts comparing it to other brands, and it's my converter of choice in the modern recording studio. Previously, we were using the Orion HD32 Pluses, and they were great, but as soon as we installed the Galaxy 64, I started to notice the air coming off of cymbals, this high-end clarity that I thought couldn't be improved upon was improved upon with the Galaxy 64. The transients seem crisp. The internal DSP allows us to use things like Neve channel strips on certain sources. We have Neve channel strips in our rack and we have an SSL. It allows us to kind of combine the flavors of both of those things to a recording and have it have a unified sound. We use plenty of Neve preamps to record drums, and we have an SSL here, and it allows us to combine the two flavors and make a unified sounding mix. And I think that that's really important to deliver for the sake of consistency and cohesion. I'm sure many recording engineers have their basic setup, kick-ins #1, kick-outs #2, and Audiotree is no different. We have the channels that we like, and we actually organize our SSL to represent where we like to put certain instruments on the console. So everything is built into a template, a Pro Tools template, that allows us to have the plugins that we need right away and have all of the inputs and outputs correctly set so that recording an Audiotree Live is a seamless process. The Galaxy 64 offers transparent recording like I've never seen it in the digital realm. If you're interested in checking it out, Audiotree, our YouTube channel, has a video that shows it in a walkthrough and shows how we integrate it into our systems.